And welcome to another edition of BCSN Sports Flash. Greg Franke welcoming you in. And it's a night for talking to young and promising broadcast proteges. This is the second one here tonight that I've had to speak with Stepper Toth, who people might remember, a graduate of Notre Dame Academy, where she was an outstanding lacrosse player. We had her on many BCSN telecasts, and now she's at the University of Kentucky, and another person who is looking for a career in broadcasting and has made a great start to it. Stepper, nice to see you again here.
Nice to see you too.
Yeah, well, I thought it was a great thing. After one of your games, and I think it might have been the first ever time that Notre Dame actually defeated St. Ursula in a lacrosse match. We covered it, and then afterwards we did a little interview, and I thought you did well in the interview and found out that you were interested in the broadcast field, and you actually followed up with that, got in touch with me, and we've been kind of keeping in touch ever since. I'm trying to give you some good advice as to how to get going in broadcasting, but you've also been able to do a lot of great things at Kentucky. What sorts of things have you been doing broadcast-wise at the University of Kentucky?
So far, actually my freshman year, I started working for Kentucky Wildcats TV, and right now actually we're partnered up with the SEC Network, and what we do right now, we pretty much do all of the reporting and produce all of the sporting events for all of the Kentucky athletic events. So I'm doing football games, basketball games, baseball, softball, soccer. Keeps me really busy, and I'm doing a lot of behind the scenes work right now, which is going to help me in my future for sure. I'm doing editing, producing, directing, camera work, I'm doing interviews, instant replay. It's just really cool to see how everything works. A lot of people don't know what all goes into the actual broadcast.
Yeah, and there was a day, I think, and maybe in some cases it's still the case, where you kind of have to wait your turn to become an upperclassman before you get some real hands-on experience. It's great that you've been able to do that right away. How difficult was it, a process for you to get into a position where you're getting all that experience now?
Well, I started off pretty much doing just the instant replay, and I worked my way up to doing directing and stuff, and I actually really enjoyed that. It's really cool to be able to see all the timing and everything, and just being able to be in control of what's going on and what the viewers are going to be able to see. So I just talked to my boss. I would go in extra hours and edit and show him what I could do, and that I was really committed, and he started being able to put me on the schedule more and doing the directing position and the camera positions as well.
Yeah, well, maybe you can work for us someday. I hope by then we can afford you.
That would be awesome.
Now, one of the obviously great things is going to the University of Kentucky. They've got, you would say, the elite basketball program in the country, even though the last couple of years they haven't quite made it to a national championship. But you've been able to be in those packed houses and experience that as more than just a fan. And you've also gotten to know a lot of the players, which is really cool, including Karl Anthony Towns, who was recently the first overall pick in the NBA draft. I'm sure that's got to be a really neat thing. Yeah,
it's really exciting. It's really cool getting to know the players on a friend basis, because when I'm doing interviews, especially starting out as a new broadcaster, I can be nervous, especially with the Kentucky basketball team being such a media focus. There are so many people that are there, there's different stations trying to cover them. And so when I want to ask a question, I just feel really comfortable asking the people that I know. And Karl is an amazing guy. I'm so happy for him that he's the #1 pick. He's going to do great things. I met him about a week before school started, so I knew him the whole time he was at Kentucky. I took a few classes with him. Even though he knew he was going to be an amazing basketball player, he still has goals. He was a kinesiology major. He strives to help underprivileged kids in other countries. That's what he really wants to do after his career in the NBA, which is amazing to see people with goals when they are going to be making millions of dollars. So.
Absolutely, and you even said, because I asked you the question, do you think he'll be able to keep his head on straight when he's going to become such a celebrity and making all that money? And you really felt like he's just the kind of guy who can keep his feet on the ground.
Yeah, oh my gosh, he's just an amazing guy. He will do anything for anybody. A cool story that I like to share. He was doing an autograph signing at the end of the year when he declared for the NBA, and an older lady was super excited to see him, and she started to cry, and he reached over and wiped her tear. I just thought it was really cool, like, to see that, because a lot of guys would not do that, especially under the spotlight that they're in, and their ego gets so
concerned
big.
About their macho image or whatever.
Exactly. So he's just an amazing guy all around, and he's going to do great things.
Well, we want to have role models like that in positions of influence with youngsters, and certainly in the NBA, he's going to be a great credit to it. What about your days in Notre Dame? Do you miss those days back in high school? You were a great athlete, and you're very, very sociable and popular student. Do you look back on those days and fond memories of it?
I definitely do. I miss it a lot. The thing that I miss most is having the time to play lacrosse. I tried playing lacrosse at Kentucky. I played my freshman year the full season on the club team. And then my second year, my sophomore year, just this past year, I practiced and I played in one game, but with work and school and everything, I couldn't fit the time in. So I really miss the lacrosse days and being able to have that team and close and being in high school. But college is a lot of fun, and I would never pass up going to Kentucky again.
Well, lacrosse's loss is broadcasting's gain, and you've had a great start to your career, and I'm sure you're going to do a lot of outstanding things as well. And I'll say I knew you win.
Oh, thank you.
Stepper Toth, formerly of Notre Dame and now at the University of Kentucky. And thanks for being with us, Greg Franke for BCSN Sports Flash.